I want it to be there's no one else I'd rather do this with than with you. It was in a breezy July day, a few weeks before Mother Nature would have graced us with the fair warmth of the then pending September sun. As you may know, the nuisance of having to rotate with the July sharp red sun while shivering from the cold breeze making its presence felt. I laid in my bag, covered in my bedding sheet, the scene of flesh. I said those words, deeply staring at his cute brown eyes, still filled with uncertainty, nevertheless still wanting to jump at the presented opportunity he had long pleaded for. I didn't make it any easy. Pairs you ladies know, make them sweat before they touch the pot of gold. God knows I was ready and it was all long overdue. A few moments later, I was transgrated from being just a girl to full womanhood, and there was no one else I would have had pull me through those multiverses than the man who laid beside me. It was all just perfect. The fear of the unknown struck a bit later. It's a known fact that first answers all perfect. Guys change. Some hit it and flee the sin. God knows I prayed and carried faith to have a different first. I wouldn't have saved up my virginity for 24 full years to have someone whom I saw fit to just grab it and run for the hills. He had to be perfect. Well, luckily, he did stay. We continued dating like nothing had happened. In fact, our love was now stronger. He was my boo, and I was his bae. Just so perfect. Well, roughly 2 months later, leading to the third one, I started having flu-like symptoms, hand in hand with unexplained exhaustion. I've had received my periods those past months, so there was absolutely no way I could have heard something. But then I decided to act on it. And then that way, I sort of saw that as a chance for me to finally go knock at the family planning wood. Yes, I was already active. And yes, it might have been, well, just a little bit late, but then, nevertheless, I still had to act on it. A friend accompanied me. Before we could address the flu issue with the clinic new rules, we were singled to seeing a lay counselor while we waited for our turn. We both saw nothing wrong with that. We went in, took the test, and the shock of my life awaited. I waited 24 years. 24 full years to share my nakedness, my pride, and everything with a man I loved. 24 years in waiting to be knocked out and bonused with a sexual transmitted disease. 3 months after being deflowered, I was pregnant and HIV positive. Someone needed to explain. How is that even possible? Well, yes, medically it was possible. Some women do bleed in the first few months of pregnancy. Unfortunate enough, I made the cut. The guy, needed to explain. I wouldn't have saved up myself all those years for me to just end up pregnant and HIV positive. I stormed off. He owed me answers. I swear I just wanted to rip his head off the very moment I saw him. But then he was still my man. He was still the guy I met and fell in love with. I loved him. Nevertheless, I hated him. Disappointed and all, I did control myself and I confronted him calmly. The only answer I got were insults, wrapped in kisses, blaming me and painting me to be the one who infected him. Oh, yes, the one person who took my pride, the person whom I saw worthy, degraded me within a few words and called out a bitch in me I never knew existed. The very first ever, left my heart bleeding.